Hello and welcome to episode 3 of series 2 of Master League Story Mode. Now, when did we last speak? I can't remember. Oh wait, yes, it was yesterday, because we're steaming through this series already. Third video in 3 days. We're just getting all the admin-y stuff out of the way at the beginning. The first episode, we revealed Sir Alex Ferguson as our manager for this season, which I'm pretty excited about still now. In the second episode, we took a look at his tactics and his formations, and I think we got them pretty nailed on. I'm pretty pleased with them. We also had a look at the team ahead of this episode, where we're going to be doing a little bit of housekeeping and a little bit of recruitment. Those are the two jobs that Sir Alex is going to be taking on. He's going to be a cleaner of house, and he's going to be a recruitment agent, a scummy, horrible recruitment agent. Sorry to recruitment agents out there who are good people. I've yet to meet one. But this is in football anyway, so it's slightly different. It's getting this window right that can so often be the difference between really good season in Master League and a really bad one. So we've had a bid on one of our players, but we also want to have a look and see which of these players we could maybe ship out in favour of a bit more quality. G. Ollie, 55 overall. Yeah, we'll take 397,000. Obviously, we'll push that up. So let's have a look at the team. So we've got a lot of strikers. We're definitely going to look to bring something in here. We don't need these 4, so we can definitely put them on. Okay, so this is slightly different. Back into review mode, into transfer policy. Clubs making offers were either open to all offers or refusal. So refusal is good, I suppose, but you never need to do that unless they've changed it so that if you turn down a bid for one of your players, they lose form. If they have, then the refusal is good. If not, don't know how that's going to make a huge difference. So we want to place Will Keane on the transfer list. I think he's a loan player in real life, maybe. Only accept offers that exceed the market price. That'd be good. Or loan. Okay. So yeah, we want more than the market price. So do that a couple more times with these players. These aren't going to be playing really. Okay, into the midfield. Now this is where things get a bit difficult. Oh, Henriksen. He's got a very high market value, but we've not necessarily got a role for an attacking midfielder in this team. I think he's a decent central midfielder. He's a good passer. He can really smack it. And he's a good finisher as well, actually. No, I think we'll keep him. He might be good. We might be able to remould him as more of a second striker, but we could definitely use him. Sean Maloney, 33. I don't think we need both him and Henriksen. It's worth 4 million. We'll see if we can get any offers in for him. G. Ollie we might be selling. El Mohammadi, he's a good role player. We need right midfielders, and also he can play at right back, so he's decent there. Snodgrass we love. We love Snodgrass. I love a passing player. And he's Scottish as well, so that's obviously going to help him get in the side. Klukas, he's worth 3.6, 72 rated left midfielder. No, he's pretty poor. What have they done with the colours as well? I forgot to mention this. I've sort of become used to it now, having played the demo, but what the hell were they thinking? Why change that? I mean, I guess green for good and red or purple for bad makes more sense, but I can't remember how they've changed. They've changed the form arrows as well. Anyway, I'll get you will adapt to that, definitely, but it's still annoying. So we don't want this guy. Ryan Mason. I'm a pretty big fan of his. He's a good all-round player. Good passer as well. That's what we need. Questionable whether we need Livermore and Mason. I guess when we do want to play against a weaker team, maybe 2 good, stronger running, passing players rather than having a defensive type player in there as well. That might be good. Mailer, definitely don't need him as well. I think we'll maybe see if anyone comes in with an offer for him. Now Tom Huddleston. Now he's been a bit of a figure of fun in Series 1. He got his ankles broken by Emi Buendia. Bow down, Emi Buendia. He got his ankles broken twice in one game, in one play for 1 goal. And they were pasty-related jokes made. It all got a bit silly. But he's worth 6.6. Again, I think we could maybe do better. Sort of one of those things where we could actually sell Mailer and Huddleston. Get 15 million maybe, approaching that by one player that would be more effective and would be better for us. So, yeah, he can go transfer list again. We're really going to see whether this affects people's morale, the transfer listing. We're a little bit low on left backs. Little bit low there. That's definitely one to look at. I've noticed this season you get the salary and transfer budget separately, so there's always going to be a good reason to try and free up some salary as well, even if the transfer fees aren't great. Lenahan, I can't see you getting a game. Well, I'm going to put him on the transfer list as well, and Makani, because he's 31 years old. Could probably do better in the transfer window. Okay, so that was pretty efficient. We've seen a few players that we can definitely look to ship out. Now it's time to look at the scouting. Let's see how scouting works this year. Okay. 3 instructions. Okay, 3 at the same... Is that 3 scouts? Can we change this? Okay, we know this. So, what did we need? We needed a right-sided midfielder. We need, ideally, a central midfielder, a stronger central midfielder, some quality up front, and a left back. Those are the main areas that we need. And a right back. Well, we need a lot of areas. But right midfield is the one. And if we can bring in someone really good there, you know, the Ronaldo, the Giggs. I know Giggs was off on the other side, but, you know, we need a tricky player. So I think we'll send you to Spain, and we're going to go overall rating, and we're going to go budget. Forget the budget. We can sell some players. Just find us some quality. So that could be interesting. So it looks like we can do another one. This is great for Master League Story Mode. This maybe means a lot less to other people, but having multiple scouts is really going to help us. It'd be interesting to see how quick they are at getting back to us. The other player we wanted was a really good quality second striker. That would be great. Playing that Rooney. We want a Wayne Rooney, really. A prime era Wayne Rooney. So we'll look for that second striker role, which I think is Rooney's best role, really. It's where Ferguson got the best out of him. I think it's where we will. I think we'll look in France for that. Yeah, we'll look in France. And again, we're going to go overall rating, and we're going to go... Just forget the budget. We want a great player. And now finally for our third scout, I think we're going to go for... We want another midfield player. I think we're slightly lacking in terms of left and right sided midfielders. We're going to look for a left midfielder. And we're going to look in Italy this time. And we're going to go for... Still developing, and we're going to consider the budget this time. So we're going to make sure it's within our means, which could be interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. So there we go. We've got 3 scouts in. Okay, before we get into looking at other players that we can bring in, I just need to quickly explain the Master League Story Mode transfer rules. Now pay attention to these, because I would really like your suggestions of players that we could sign or clubs that we can deal with. But if you don't pay attention to the rules, then you may suggest players or clubs that don't fit within them, and then I can't use them. But if you listen carefully, then you should be able to be in a position to be one of my scouts, basically, and tell me who I can sign, which worked really well last series, so should work well again this series. So basically, I can deal with any players that are brought in by the scouts. That's fine. That's our lifeline, really. But any other players out of that, so anything I want to look out for in the advanced search, has to come through a team or a connection that Alex Ferguson has. It's called the 6 Degrees of Sherwood rule, after Tim Sherwood, in the first series. So, for example, the obvious ones. First of all, obviously, Sir Alex will have big connections with Manchester United. So we can go in there, we can plunder their team, we can make loan signings, which may well be a feature. I feel like it probably will be. And we can buy players from them. That's not a problem. Also Scotland, because Sir Alex managed them very briefly. It would be Aberdeen as well, but I don't think they're in this, so we can't do that. And then you go a little bit further afield, so it's looking for connections that he's got. So, for example, Mark Hughes, who we managed, means that he can deal with Stoke City. So that's going to be interesting. A few good players there. Roy Keane, of course, assistant manager at Ireland, which means we can deal with any Irish players. That's a good one. That should be quite a wide field. Ruud van Nistelrooy, interesting. He's a youth coach at PSV, so we'll allow that. He's allowed to... So you're sort of getting an idea here. We just need to find someone that he's played with or managed. It's going to be managed, really. And then see if they're at a club and if they could help out, basically pull some strings in the background. So that's PSV. Carlos Queiroz, his ex-assistant manager, is the international manager of Iran, so that may be useful. I doubt it. And then obviously David Moyes, who we're going to assume that he knows him pretty well, so we'll allow that, and that gives us Sunderland. We could also look at any ex-Manchester United players, so that might be something that I choose to do at some point. If you've got any suggestions of some good ex-Man United players you might like to see come back under Ferguson, then let me know. But most importantly, find those link clubs for me, find those connections, and find me some new players, because that would be really helpful. So let me know in the comments. And because we don't want to mess around here, generally you need to get your transfers done as soon as possible. We're going to go straight into the advanced search and look at some of those linked teams that we talked about. So first up, did I mention that we've got the lovely PES universe? Logos and kits and the updated teams thanks to Konami being on the spot this year. But let's take a look at United. Who could we maybe loan or buy from Manchester United? I think this is going to be rich pickings for us. Oh, we've got a lot of players who look like they might be quite happy to come out. Depay on a loan. That'd be interesting. Oh, we do 6 months or a year now. That's interesting. We're just going to add them all to the list first, and then we'll come back and look and try and prioritise. Valencia. Yep, he'd be a good attacking fullback. Add him to the list. We seem to be able to deal with quite a lot of these players, which is interesting. Like, surely we couldn't buy Martial. This is going to be another part of the review. How are the transfers looking this year? Really, Hull City shouldn't really be able to buy any of the players. Maybe a Valencia, maybe a Lingard on loan. Obviously, they don't factor in any of the Alex Ferguson effect, but Lingard would be good. He'd be a great right midfielder for us. Quick, good passer. And a Herrera. Potentially pushed out by Jose. Not in his plans. And then, yeah, and obviously, the Jose Alex link as well is just perfect in this. He's exactly the sort of manager who would be like, yeah, sure, Alex. My hero. My mentor. You can have any of my players. So, Herrera. There's so many great players in here. The Manchester United link was always going to be a big one. Michael Carrick, maybe. They've got a great connection. Looking at the right backs, Fosu Mensah, he'd be good. He'd maybe be one to buy, or at least loan to buy. 18-year-old. Decent crosser, strong, quick. I like him. I think he'd fit in well. Marcus Rojo. It's unlikely that they'd let him go, but he's 3 out of 5. It's going to be expensive. Can't sign by. You know, he's just come in. Phil Jones. He's on the peripherals. I know he's injured. That'd be an interesting one. Plenty of good ones in here. Okay, United, there's some good ones there. Let's keep moving along. Let's look at the nationalities. First up is obviously Scotland. He didn't manage them for long, but he did manage them for a little bit. And obviously, you know, he's like a god there. So, won't be any problem dealing with them. Okay, who's at the top of the list? Naismith. I like Stephen Naismith. His finishing's decent on this. Griffiths, the Celtic striker. He'd be decent. I like him. How much would he set us back? 7 million. Celtic not in the game, obviously. Probably not worth it. He's not really an upgrade. Not many great Scottish players. Where's that winger? What's his name? Oliver Burke. He looks. Oh, Jordan Rhodes. Oh, Grant Hanley. How did I forget about you two? Wouldn't it be great Series 1's fans to see big Grant Hanley, Captain Fantastic Grant Hanley, back in a Master League Story Mode side? We've got to put him on the list at least, just out of respect to him. And obviously, Jordan Rhodes. I mean, what a legend of Master League Story Mode this man is. The Flying Scotsman. 81 finishing. His finishing hasn't gone down. He's getting to the list, absolutely. Haven't really seen much of him for Borough yet, but obviously I'm looking out. No one else particularly of interest. Barry Bannon, always been a big fan of him. Ryan Gould, he's back in it. The Scotch Messi. There he is, Burke. 60 overall. He looks great on YouTube. Anyway, that's Scotland done. Next country is as well Ireland. That Roy Keane connection. Don't really think there's necessarily any Irish players that I want to sign other than maybe Seamus Coleman, but he'll be well out of our price range. McCarthy will as well. Judge from Brentford. He's a decent left midfielder. Getting on a bit, but he's got good stats. Great dribbler. How much would he set us back? 6 million. We'll put him on the list. So another one was Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's our contact at PSV Eindhoven. This could be an interesting one. They've definitely got some good players. We've not got much money. We've only got 13 million. We're going to be able to raise a fair amount, I would imagine, through transfers. But we want to be looking fairly good value. So I think probably in the 6 million plus. It's going to be a struggle, especially if you've got some scouts out looking for some real quality. Nothing really jumping out at me here. Pulse on the left back would be great, but 8 million probably not going to happen. Put him on the list anyway. Very pacey right-sided player there. Joseph Zoom. Looks like he could be willing to go. 25 years old. He's a decent passer. He's rapid. 94 speed. Good, decent dribbling to go with it. He's worth a look as well. So that's PSV. Nothing huge really jumping out at me there. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Carlos Queiroz. He's given us an in Iran. His trusted sidekick. Any decent here? Iranian central midfielder. Right side of midfielder. No. No. Nothing tickling my fancy there. Sorry, any Iranians. Let me know if there are any Iranians watching, and I might reconsider. And then finally, it's David Moyes at Sunderland. His calamitous replacement at Man United. That was a shame. I quite like David Moyes. I think it's been treated a little unfairly. Khazri, I like Khazri. He's a great player. How much is he worth? 10 million. He's really well rated as well. I like the look of him. Great passer. He's an interesting one. He'll go on the list. I think that'll probably be out of our price range. Januzaj. Obviously, a player that Ferguson knows well. He looks like he might be open to a move as well. We'll put him on the list. Ferguson was a big fan of Januzaj in his final years at United. That's probably one of his few mistakes he's made. No, that's not true. We all remember Bebe. So that's that covered. Oh, and finally, almost forgot. Mark Hughes, Sparky at Stoke. Bojan Horseman. That'd be great. He's a great player. He's looked good actually in the Premier League. I was a bit surprised to be honest, but he's come on. He has to go in just purely on. He's always been a good player for me in PES. The sort of Barcelona Bojan years. Bojan. The Barcelona Bojack Horseman years were just incredible. When he was like 18, 17, he was unstoppable. And he really progressed. Oh, Mbula. I like Mbula. The new Patrick Vieira. The French Patrick Vieira. He'd be good. Definitely put him on the list. We need a combative midfielder, and he would do it very well. He's strong and he's quick as well. That speed, explosive power. That could really help us. How much is he going for? 8 million. Pretty expensive. Juve. He's a good player. Good finisher. Definitely consider him. Okay, I think that's a good selection. So as I've said, let me know if there are any players that you think I should be dealing with or any clubs. I need your help. So before we end this episode, we're going to take a quick look at the list of players and we're going to put in some initial bids and fire some off and see if they come back. So we've got 19 players on the list here. All of them bar Khazri and Judge. 3 out of 5 or above, so we should be able to deal with some of these. Man United, these players are going to be well out of our price range, but a loan would be lovely. So I think we'll start off with some loan bids. We're going to have to make some loan signings. We're never going to be able to get that much money back. So we'll start off with some loan signings. I definitely like the idea of a loan for Depay. Play him out on the left. So we'll get a loan in for him. Martial, I can't do much. Well, Jose Mourinho's got some serious attacking talent this year. Well, we'll put a loan bid in for him anyway. It could happen. You know, Wilshere went out on loan. It's not inconceivable. And Jesse Lingard, I'd like him. He's good. He can play everywhere as well. Put a loan for him. We put in one for Rashford as well. I just forgot about that. We did that as we were going. Marcus Rashford, who'd be a good backup centre forward if we can get him cheap. So that leaves us with one more dealing that we can do now. We'll stick with the loans first. I think we can safely say we're going to need some loans. So we fire off some high quality loans. We'll go for Herrera as well. Ferguson flexing his United connections there. Trying to bring in some loans. Could be good. We've looked at the formation. We've looked at the transfers. We've made a few loan bids. And we've got a few of our players racked up, ready to leave. Ferguson's in. He's doing his business early, as he loves to do. So join me in the next episode where we might be able to make some transfers and we'll probably get onto the first game. So that's exciting. I'll see you in a bit.